Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 in Minecraft Java Edition. Yes, I could say it with a straight face. We're testing Minecraft on the 4090. Yeah, okay. So this is the Founders Edition model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers. I'm not overclocking it. You can see all of its specs here in Tech Power Up's GPU-Z. Rebar is also enabled. 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X VRAM. That's insane. 16,384 CUDA cores. And this says 1.1 right there because there's nothing 3D on screen. If there is, it goes up to 4.0. Over on the left, we're pairing it with Ryzen 7 5800X 3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM, dual channel CL14 3200 MHz. Let's get into it, shall we? Here we go, Minecraft Java Edition. Holy cow, man. Why? I don't know, but let's go over to the version of the game. It's 1.19.2 using the Iris and Sodium mods. And over in the settings, Shift P to turn the menu into this more readable thing. Full screen resolution is set to 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. There's no point in testing it at lower resolutions because it's just gonna get the same FPS. This is gonna be CPU bound even at 8K resolution, I think. So yeah, render distance is set to 10 chunks because this is more of a CPU intensive setting, so we get more CPU bottlenecked if we increase that, and everything else is set to like the high settings here. As I told you, we're also gonna test some shaders, but right now they're disabled. Alright, we just spawned. I created a new world, guys, and it's getting around like 900 to 1000 frames per second. We're playing creative here because the story mode, it just takes way too long to record, honestly, and we can only see like a single biome there. Over here I can actually travel the world and find new things faster, you know. So yeah, that's why we're playing creative. Getting like 1000 FPS in an area like this one is not really all that impressive, honestly. Well, 1000 FPS is 1000 FPS, but we are massively CPU bound here with the 5800X 3D. GPU power usage is at like around now it's going up because of the trees, actually. And that's because we're seeing around like 30 to 40% GPU utilization most of the time. Even inside of here, it doesn't really move too much. Oh boy, I'm hearing some zombies already, but it's creative, so everything is fine. I don't need to be scared. Honestly, guys, I was expecting higher frames. 1000 FPS is still 1000 FPS, of course. It's very good. You don't even need that much to play Minecraft, right? But with a 6900 XT under a CPU bottleneck scenario, I actually saw like 2000 frames per second, which is crazy. Not at 4K, because the GPU would be maxed out at 4K. But yeah, it's a little bit of a difference there, you know? When you're CPU bound, I guess the 40 and the 30 series from Nvidia get a little bit lower FPS. But, you know, 900 frames on average is nothing to worry about, of course. And once we enable shaders, things will become more GPU intensive. And that's where the 4090 will shine, of course. So I'm gonna stop it there. It's 909 FPS average here around the tree area. Super low GPU utilization. We actually don't have a CPU that can get the most out of the 4090s yet in Minecraft, basically. And I don't think that will happen with next generation of CPUs either. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and enable some shaders now, starting with BSL shaders. And I am gonna go to the shader pack settings. Okay, the profile is set to high here, which is the default. And now we're seeing 97% GPU utilization. So we're maxing out the 4090 here in Minecraft at native 4K resolution with these shaders. That's how much more intensive the shaders are compared to non-shaders, you know. Still not getting the most out of the card yet, but it's getting close finally at 80+% GPU usage. And if I stop rendering new chunks, it actually gets 97% there. So it gets like 240 plus FPS all of the time, basically, using BSL shaders. Things look beautiful, of course, at native 4K resolution, and it's much better than other cards that I tested here, for sure, at 4K. You can actually have a high refresh rate, 240Hz experience with a 4K 240Hz monitor. I guess that's really expensive, right? But I guess if you have a card like this, you can probably buy a 240Hz 4K monitor, right? But yeah, it is capable of getting extremely high FPS, of course, as expected, I think. Now let's go to the Chocapic V6 Extreme shaders. You know what, guys? I really think that this GPU can do shaders at 8K resolution even. So if you want a little bit extra resolution out of your game, I don't know why you would want that. Maybe you have an 8K monitor, or you're playing on a big 4K monitor with low pixel density, like a TV. Yeah, you should still be capable of getting really high FPS. We're gonna check that out in this video, of course. Chocapic shaders, it is running extremely smoothly, actually a little bit smoother maybe than BSL for some reason. I can feel less stuttering. Also, that's a big problem with Minecraft, by the way. You can see a lot of frame time variation there because the game is not really that well optimized, unfortunately, even with the Iris and Sodium mod. But here with Chocapic V6 Extreme shaders, you can still get around the same FPS as BSL. It looks pretty good in my opinion, a little bit darker, but I think the water looks better than BSL shaders in this one. I really love the look of the water using these. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? What the hell is that, by the way? Oh boy, a portal right here? Are you serious? Why? In the water? Doesn't really make much sense because this is hot. Like, this is a hot stone and it's surrounded by water. Why is it working? I don't get it. Well, there is also no hell and no portals in real life. So but yeah, I love the lighting of these shaders. Love the colorful, vibrant, popping look. I just don't really love the darker look of it inside of forests and stuff like that. But I guess it's a little bit realistic, you know, because if you are in a dense forest, it's gonna be dark anyways. But yeah, not a problem still, obviously, for this ultra high-end GPU. And let's go ahead and use some complementary shaders. These are a little bit more intensive than the ones that we tested so far, but it's still good for 200 plus. These are probably my favorites, actually, guys, because it looks pretty nice, you know. For some reason, it looks a little bit softer than the other ones here at 4K resolution, but it's still super sharp and detailed, of course. I like the fog roll-off at the edges of the chunks, you know. And let's start counting our FPS. It's way more intensive. We're getting like 50 less frames per second than the other ones or so. Water looks amazing to me, at least. The reflections are still not ray traced, as you can see there. They disappear once things go off screen. But I think I would actually play like this with the 4090 using these shaders. I just love the look of them. And I don't know why it's looking more vibrant than usual. Maybe it's because I upgraded my monitor. Probably is. You know, this is an IPS 4K monitor. It's the Dell G23 or 3223, yes, Q, 4K 144 hertz IPS, and the colors really pop. So yeah, it's kind of amazing actually, this experience with the 4090. I'm really sad that I will need to give it back to Nvidia. Maybe I should steal it. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be testing these high-end GPUs, you know? Anyways, 200 plus FPS even in forest areas. By the way, these are not the most intensive biomes in the game. That would be a jungle, but it's pretty intensive anyways because of all of the vegetation. If we were in just a desert, for example, we'd be getting way higher FPS. But yeah, you can see that GPU usage is pretty high with these shaders as well. Consumption of the card is really up there as well. In just a little bit, I will be sweating a lot here in my room for sure. But hey, it's all in the name of science. And why is it's an enchanted axe, right? Or something like that. Look at the lava as well. Gotta love that lighting, right? Looks really amazing with shaders. So let's stop it there for complementary shaders. And let's go to Continuum shaders. Now, these, I don't really like these, honestly. Yes, it still has a little bit of light to it, but it's not... Oh my god. I just noticed the FPS that we're getting. Oh yeah, I remember with the 6900 XT getting like 30 frames with this. What the? That I didn't mean to say water. I meant to say what the? Because I was extremely confused there for a second. Oh, finally, we're out of there. Oh, look at that, though. That is beautiful. The sunset colors are amazing. But, you know, you can't get 60 plus FPS all of the time with Continuum shaders. These are not ray traced. What the hell was that? These are a little bit buggy, I guess. But I know why we're getting such low FPS. It's because I set the profile to Ultra here, because the default preset wasn't really very beautiful to me, and I wanted to see if the Ultra preset would be great. And it's still not my favorite, honestly. As you can see, medium looks kind of similar anyways, you know. Oh, that's the moon right there. It's so small. That's what she said. No, not really, but I can see the stars now. That's beautiful, actually. But the sunset is just amazing, my friends. Look at that from here, for example. You'd see it from here, of course, if you're playing some survival. But let's start another creative map because it's already nighttime. I know there's a command or something to put it at daytime again, but I don't remember it. So let's go. And with the default shader settings, you can still get like 144 plus FPS all of the time with Continuum shaders. These are very intensive, way more intensive than the other ones that we tested so far. And it seems like the FPS dropped the most near water. So, yeah, water looks pretty beautiful here in these shaders as well. I think that's why Digimon loves these shaders, by the way. Shaders. But yeah, 169 FPS average right there. Awesome stuff. So it's perfect after all. Of course it is. It's a 4090, you know. Let's go to Lagless Shaders Standard, because lights are just too light to run, of course. And let's see. Ooh. You know, I really like the look of these, especially the water. Look at that. You can see the deep water is lighter than the not so deep water, but which is kind of weird. Oh, hello, Jack, by the way. How's it going, my boy? Let's start counting our FPS. Come on. There we go. We're getting up to 300 frames per second, so these are a good option if you want to have a 300 hertz 4K monitor. I don't think those exist yet, but maybe if you overclock a 240 hertz 4K monitor, or you can get like 280 hertz. Why are we talking about this? Why would you overclock a 240 hertz 4K monitor, guys? Please don't do that. You might break it. Now, those 1% lows are kind of bad, actually. Maybe because this is a new world and it's just loading everything for the first time, so it stutters a little bit more. I really hate the fact that this game stutters so much, actually. And I feel like it stuttered less previously. Also, look at that lighting there. Looks kind of fake, you know, but at the same time it looks decent, so yeah. These shaders are pretty nice. Lagless shaders, the easiest shaders to run in my collection of shaders that I'm testing here today. And they are a very good option for stuff like GT710s and GT1030s, for example. Actually, the 1030 can run a lot of shaders pretty well, or at least it could back in 1.16.5. But here in 1.19 version of Minecraft, things just got worse optimized than ever. And it's always like this, you know, every single update that comes to this game wrecked the performance even further. So maybe, who knows, in 10 years' time, the 4090 won't be enough anymore to run Minecraft. 300 FPS average, we're using lagless shaders. CPU is getting pretty hot there, but that's the 3D V cache at work, basically. And let's go to ProjectLUMA. These look pretty damn good as well, as you can see. And what I'm seeing here so far is that this GPU is getting around 100 to 120 FPS more than the 3080 Ti did when I tested it, but that was with Optifine and with a different version of the game that was more optimized, of course, so it ran better. So we can't really directly compare the results. So I don't really know why I mentioned it. But yeah, it's just some interesting fact. You can still get extremely good FPS and experiences with shaders at 4K resolution with last gen's best GPUs, and even mid-range ones like the 3060 Ti provided pretty good FPS in Minecraft as well. Of course, to be expected, because this is Minecraft after all. Look at this area, by the way. Very beautiful one. Not as intensive as the other area with a ton of trees, of course, but I really like it for like a thumbnail with all of these colors. Looks gorgeous, guys. Oh, what the heck? I just noticed these look like some volcanoes close to each other. That's very interesting. And what is this? I don't know. Why does this exist in the world of Minecraft? A flying island. So weird, guys. Very weird. Maybe when you have volcanoes so close to each other like this, They work like that, like magnetic fields and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go down here and explore a little bit. This is interesting as heck. Can I use like one of these things to have some light down here, by the way? A torch, maybe? Probably not. Oh, glowstone. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Oh, that looks great. Why is it not glowing in my hand, by the way? It used to. I remember it glowing. Huh, interesting. Let's go. What about torches? Do torches actually work underwater? I'm curious now. Let's see. I know nothing about this game, basically, okay? So maybe it's these shaders that can't really render the light from the torches and stuff on your hand, at least. I know that a few shaders don't really do that, so hopefully it's that and not the setting that I need to enable, and I forgot. So yeah, anyways, 250 FPS in a slightly less intensive area using ProjectLUMA shaders. Still insane. Now is where things become pretty interesting. SEUS PTGI, these are ray traced shaders, but they're not going to utilize the ray tracing cores on the RTX 4090 or any other RTX GPU because, well, this is not Minecraft RTX. That's the Windows 10 edition of the game. These are extremely intensive. I think I remember getting like 50-ish FPS with the 3080 Ti. And these shaders at 4K resolution. Now we're getting 90 to 80 sometimes. I want to get back to the more foresty area, by the way, because here it's less intensive. You know what I'm saying, guys? If you want 60 plus FPS all of the time in Minecraft with these shaders at 4K, you actually need a 4090. Which is absolutely crazy, you know? But yeah, you can see now that the reflections won't go away when the objects are off screen. See in the water there? Yeah, so that's what you can do to tell if ray tracing is working or not, and it definitely is here because it's not a high refresh rate anymore, you know? A high refresh rate experience, that is. Why can't I put a torch on top of leaves? Oh, doesn't make sense, of course. But there are a lot of things that don't make sense anyways here in Minecraft, you know? Alright, so I guess we need to move to another one because it's nighttime already, and I don't like to test things at nighttime because it makes me scared. Honestly, in survival mode, it actually gets pretty scary at times. At least there are jump scares in Minecraft. I have seen some, and I have been scared a lot by some zombies popping out of nowhere and stuff like that. So it's definitely possible to get scared here in Minecraft. When you remember that like a 3080 Ti or 3090 can only do about 50-ish FPS on average in this game, and this is almost double that, it is impressive, isn't it? Alright, so let's stop it there now. And I'm not really sure if SEUS PTGI HRR3 work. Oh, they do. So they only don't work with AMD GPUs. Interesting. So these are also ray traced. You can see that the objects are still reflecting even when they're off screen. These look way better than SEUS PTGI shaders, I think. No, SEUS PTGI E12 shaders. These are the HRR3, I think. And it's super vibrant, super bright in some areas. Really dark in forest areas, once again, but I guess it's just how it is with ray traced lighting, right? Maybe it's ray traced. I'm not even sure if it has ray traced lighting. Oh, that's interesting. That looks like a very narrow hole. We do like narrow holes, right? So sorry about that, by the way. What the hell is this? Oh, it's just like moss or something. These are running at half resolution. This is not native 4K, although it looks really detailed still because, well, 4K is a massive res. But, oh, there's Roach right there, finally. Thank you so much, buddy. How's it going? Everything all right? Oh, yes. Ton of roaches right here. Are you stuck in this island or something? No, they're not stuck. They're just eating there because they like fish, probably, so they're fishing. It's insane how the water looks using these shaders, by the way. Those stutters are just a little bit annoying, but once again, that's because of the game itself, you know? But yeah, look at that water. This is so interesting. That looks really deep. Wow. The world generation in this new version of Minecraft is just crazy good. I really like it. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so dark here. you can literally not see a thing, only these mossy things, you know? Interesting. Underwater things get even more interesting than outside, you know? Wow. Crazy stuff. We still got some flying blocks, of course, because Minecraft. Honestly, I think I would choose these shaders. By the way, if you lock the FPS, those stutters will be alleviated. So, oh, look at that. We got some foxes right here. Very interesting. It will feel smoother if you lock the frames to like 60 FPS or somewhere lower than your minimum frames per second. I'll really enjoy the presentation, and you can finally get 60 plus FPS all of the time at 4K using HRR3 shaders. That's insane, you know? So SEUS Renewed. If you like the look of PTGI E12 but you don't want the ray tracing, these might be the way to go. As you can see, it gets close to 200 frames per second, which is crazy, and there's still some motion blur, by the way, but it's not really that noticeable at these higher FPS, so I'll leave that on. It shouldn't look terrible in the video either. Yeah, 200 frames using these shaders is insane, because these are also super intensive compared to like Complementary and stuff like that, and that's why they're getting like 50 less FPS than those. But yeah, usually when I tested these with other GPUs, it's a huge bump up in performance compared to the ray trace stuff, but not compared to the other shaders. But hey, I know that a lot of people love the look of these shaders, and you can get the super high refresh rate experience with them if you have a 4090. And I think that's gonna be the same for like the 4080 16GB model, and even the 12GB model. Honestly, you can have the decent experience. But yeah, the 12GB model is just a 4070 basically, I think. Anyway, it's insane. It just doesn't really move too much from 200 frames per second, you know? Sometimes it gets down to like 180, sometimes it goes up to like 210 or something, but it's pretty stable. And the 1% lows just come from those chunks loading and stuttering a little bit because of it. So yeah, let's stop it there. Almost 200 frames per second. It's gonna be a huge video actually, so I'm sorry about that, but hopefully I'll cover your favorite shaders here. So now, Sildurs Vibrant Extreme shaders. Back to the 290s and 300s at times. That is insane. I gotta keep reminding that this is 4K resolution. I have never seen such a high refresh rate experience here in Minecraft at 4K resolution. That sun is looking amazing. Kind of a pink hue, you know, or a purple hue here with these shaders, which I actually like. A lot of people like purple from what I've seen from like setups and stuff. A lot of you guys choose purple as your preferred color, and honestly it looks pretty damn good. I think, look at this, I think that looks pretty sick, so it's justified. It's a great color, you know. Anyways, you can see the reflections there, they disappeared. This is not ray traced shader, but it looks amazing. It's probably my second favorite shader, maybe third after HRR, because HRR ran so well. I've never seen it running that well. And yeah, in those shaders, the colors really popped, and it was amazing, really bright and vibrant, and I really like that in shaders in Minecraft. But this one, I can't deny, these look awesome as well. The lighting looks great. The God rays in these shaders are probably the best God rays here in this game, by the way. Really like the look of those. Yeah. It's great. If it had some better lens flares, I would say it would be second place, but it doesn't have better range flares. Oh, there are tons of beds right here. Look at that. Oh, yes. It's a very good area to get beds if I need to sleep. Also, kind of do need to sleep. The sun is going down, right? I'm just gonna grab a bed now instead of creating another world. Isn't that beautiful? The stars are coming out as well right now. These shaders, the lighting on these is absolutely insane. I really like them. It's growing on me, maybe to second place, you know? Wow, crazy stuff. What about the moon? Let me check out the moon. Come on, faster, faster. Wow, that's also crazy, guys. What the hell? Look at all of those trees down there. That's interesting. Yeah, look at the lens, the God rays here. Even with the moon, that looks crazy. Holy crap. Insane. This is kind of a really good look for a Halloween episode in Minecraft or something like that. And we're getting 300s now. What the hell? Very good, very good. And we just woke up, the sun is going up again, and we got some very beautiful lighting once again. This is great. Alright, let's go to the shaders now, and the last ones are these. I don't think these work, because I've never seen them work. But yeah, they kind of do, actually. Yeah, it's the first time that I'm seeing these. Oh, what the hell is that? That halo effect around the sun, that looks extremely weird. Well, I asked for lens flare, so I guess I got what I asked for. But yeah, I don't really like the look of these too much, at least the lighting. Look at that. So weird, dude. Every time you look at the sun. Okay. Everything else looks kind of decent and vibrant and sharp and detailed as it should. Let me take a look at the water, actually. That's just... I don't like to look in that direction because of the sun. So weird looking. Yeah, not the best water that we've seen so far. This water looks like the Lagless shaders water. Maybe a little bit worse, actually. And the lava... It has a lot of bloom. I don't really enjoy these, honestly, guys. I'm gonna stop it there. And we gotta go ahead and go up to 8K resolution. Okay, we gotta change the size of this. All right, that's more seeable. 7680 by 4320 res. Shaders are disabled at the moment, and it's actually maxing out the GPU. I wasn't expecting that. 90+% GPU usage, and we're still definitely getting less FPS than we did at 4K. So that means that this is a GPU bound scenario. Very interesting, guys. Wasn't expecting that since it's Minecraft, you know, but hey, it's 8K, that's 4 times 4K resolution. That means that it's the same as running 4K panels, 2 on top of another 2, and that's it. It's completely insane, of course, because 4K is such a high resolution already. Getting 600 FPS almost at 8K resolution is no slouch, alright? Super fast, actually. I think we got like 300 or so with the 3080 Ti back when I tested it, with another version and stuff like that. So let's stop comparing the 3080 Ti, okay? I forget every time. But yeah, this is a high refresh rate experience at 8K res. Also, I'm really curious to see what the 4090 can do at 8K in other games like AAA titles and stuff like that, because this is a beast of a card. It might actually be playable, especially with DLSS, you know? So yeah, very interesting. Still slight CPU bottleneck there because we're not seeing 99% usage on the GPU. But it could be the game that is just not optimized. A lot of jacks right here. This is beautiful. But also down here is pretty much the same thing if you're wondering. If you're playing survival mode, walking around doesn't really get you that many more FPS. This is a very tiny person. Hello? How's it going? Do you want a bed? There it is. You can claim it. Alright? I will give you more beds if you want. Come on. There it is. Alright. Very nice. You can jump on the beds and stuff. It's a very nice thing to do. I did that when I was a little kid and I hit my head. That's it for 8K without shaders. We gotta check it out now using BSL. Oh my god. There are cards that can't even play this with BSL shaders at 1080p with 90 FPS. And this is getting just that. That is actually crazy. Now it's starting to blow my mind a little bit here, you know? 200-ish FPS at 4K with shaders. Well, that's alright. We also got like almost 200 FPS on average in Warzone, for example, at 4K Ultra settings. So yeah, it's not really that impressive considering it's Minecraft. But now at 8K resolution, close to 100 FPS most of the time is pretty insane. Once again, considering 8K is 4K. 4 times 4K resolution in terms of pixel count. 32 million pixels compared to 8 million pixels in 4K resolution panels. It is insane. It is really, really good. You can play Minecraft at 8K with shaders. So extremely good start for the 4090 here. At 8K resolution with the shaders, guys. I was expecting less, honestly, because it's such an insane res, but this is also an insane GPU. So yeah, super, super fast. Let's go ahead and try Chocapic V6 Extreme now. Look at that lighting. with the water there. A little bit more intensive maybe, near the water at least, but still above 60 frames per second. Of course, the real test comes with ray-traced shaders at 8K, which, oh, that's so cute, by the way, is just gonna wreck this GPU, I believe. But hey, I honestly haven't seen anything wrecking this GPU yet, so it's gonna be great to see it. Why did they have this here? Are they exploring the cave or something? That's interesting. Huh, to you too, guys. Alright, very nice village here in the middle of nowhere. I would love to live in one of these, but the internet is bad there, so I can't. Actually, I gotta move out of this house and get another one. Oh, shaders reloaded there, by the way. But yeah, as I was saying, I gotta move to another house with a bigger space to film videos in and stuff like that. Because I'd love to get some unboxings done and PC building videos. Just varied content, you know, hands-on doing some stuff as well. So keep tuned in because that will happen. But I still need a bigger space to do that. Anyway, 73 FPS average, very, very insane stuff at 8K rise. Let's go over here and do Complementary, my favorite. It might actually drop. Let's try to make it drop. Come on. Come on. Does it drop around here? Near the water? No? What about underwater? No? 65 was the minimum so far that I saw. Aside from the stutter, of course, but that doesn't count. I mean, I want to see the FPS dropping from 60. Usually it's the opposite, you know, but the GPU is so beastly that I want to see it dropping from 60 FPS, and it's not. Do you know how infuriating it is to make a GPU suffer, and you can't do it? Because usually they suffer a lot on my hands, but not this one. We need to go up to like 16K resolution. Can I do that, by the way? Right now, Continuum shaders slightly more intensive than the ones that we tested so far. And it's getting 60s, lower 60s at times, even 60 FPS flat right there. Can we get less than that, please? Look at that GPU power usage, by the way, right now, going up into like the 425 watt range. That's insane, but honestly, I thought this card would utilize like 450 watts out of the box. Oh, 55 FPS. Let's go. Finally, it is starting to suffer a little bit. We just needed to play with some intensive shaders at 8K resolution. Not an easy thing to do. Oh my gosh. What the heck? This is interesting. Little river here, maybe? What? What a weird creation right here. Alright. Anyway, yeah, we made it, guys. Continuum shaders, definitely super intensive. I would love to see a jungle area as well, but we haven't really come across any in this video, which is kind of bad. Yeah, it's almost nighttime, so we should sleep the night off as well. Yeah, whenever you are surrounded by water, it drops into the 50s. Lagless light. No, I don't want the light ones. I want the standard ones. And these get you a high refresh rate experience. Again, very nice. Can I sleep, please? No? Let's see the sunset then. Okay, so for 144 Hz 8K monitors, which don't exist, you can run them maxed out with Lagless Shaders Standard and the 4090. Also consuming way less power than the Continuum shaders. I guess some option inside of Continuum shader is super intensive, because with the other shaders, we're not seeing the TDP that high, you know, the power usage. Okay, we slept the night off. Zombies are burning with some horrible looking fire, actually. Doesn't even cast any lighting. Interesting. But yeah, it gets 144 on average or something around that, you know. Most of the time it's in the 130s, 140s. Pretty good stuff. If you want high refresh rates at 8K for some reason, you can have it. ProjectLUMA Plus, let's go. Oh, it's not plus, it's plus minus plus. Okay. That's weird. So these, so vibrant and so sharp. It looks incredible, guys. Oh, yes. It also looked incredible at 4K, but I could see a lot of noise using these shaders at 4K as well, especially in the water. Yeah, that is sharp and detailed as hell. It doesn't really have a lot of noise anymore. It's just the water ripples or the little waves, I think. Yeah, look at that. Damn, I'm just gonna stop right here and zoom into the picture so you can see all of that detail. It's being captured at 4K, so it's not even showing all of that detail then, but You can notice a little difference compared to 4K for sure, especially on a 32-inch monitor. It's so insane, and it's still above 60 frames per second. It didn't drop near the water because our 1% lows are at 60. I didn't really notice it. Now is where this GPU is just gonna die, I think. These are SEUS PTGI E12 shaders. Ray tracing at 8K resolution native is just not gonna happen. That is absolutely insane, actually. Wow, still a cinematic experience, don't get me wrong. You could make a movie or something like that if you want to. But yeah, that is just way too intensive. Damn, and looking down at the water is even more intensive because that's where all of the ray tracing is happening, I think. Yep, it's still great that we can have somewhat walkable FPS here. You know, it's not running very well, but it's walking well enough. You can move, you can fly around, you can take some screenshots at 8K, which will look extremely gorgeous and detailed, of course. Remember to disable that motion blur because it looks awful. Now with HRR3, it's getting close to 30 frames per second. I think if you overclock this card, if you don't really care about power consumption at all, you can actually have a 30-ish FPS experience on average at least. But it might drop sometimes. That water is just insanely beautiful using these shaders, guys. Holy crap, just take a look at it. It really makes me want to dive inside of this water. That's insane, and the water waves there, they look very beautiful. The reflections, of course, they're ray traced, so they look extremely beautiful as well. And this is probably running at 4K at the moment, because these are half resolution shaders, so it actually runs the game at half resolution. And if it's like any other game out there, half resolution means half the vertical resolution, which means that it's playing at 3840 by 2160p, and it's 4K native with ray tracing. Again, these are just for screenshots, the ray traced stuff here at 8K. I think you should just play at 4K even, you know? There's no need to go up to this insanely high res. And now 60 FPS is feeling buttery smooth once again, but it still drops here. These are like continuum shaders, I guess. You get close to the water, it drops into the 50s, and up there it actually gets 60s and maybe even 70s at times. That's good. After seeing what this can do with ray tracing, it feels smooth even at 50-something FPS at times, but just play at 4K. This is just for fun at this point, right? Pretty solid still, though. Sildurs Vibrant Extreme now. Gorgeous shaders. Something weird is going on down there, by the way. That is not very good looking. Gets 80-something FPS. Very good. Once again, I don't think it will drop from 60 anymore. Yep, not even near the water, just gets 70s, and that's about it. So it's pretty solid, once again, at 8K, but we start seeing some weirdness at the distance. I guess the shaders might not be optimized to run 8K. I don't know, but still, the FPS are extremely nice. That's for sure. And that's about it. TME shaders are the last ones. I don't really like them. Ooh, that's way too bright. What the hell? Haven't seen the sand in the 4K resolution testing, but yeah. Get 60s here. Not too bad, but I mean, it looks way worse than the others, and it kind of sits in the middle of the demandingness of shaders, you know, in this game. So yeah, I think that's a little bit unjustified comparing the visuals of this shader with the other ones. Something like Complementary, for example, runs a little bit better and looks better to me at least, or like the ProjectLUMA stuff as well. It has a pretty similar look, especially in the trees, but then the water looks way better. That's about it for this video, guys. Super lengthy one. That's what she said. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative and useful, or at least entertaining to watch. Hope to see you in the next one tomorrow. By the way, I will be testing Spider-Man Remastered with the DLSS 3.0 update. And I'll also be testing Cyberpunk 2077 with more resolutions and ray tracing and everything, DLSS and stuff. So stay tuned in for that. Love you all. Bye-bye.